That's good, honey.
It's all good, baby.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
It's always all good.
It is always all good. I believe that too.
Or
Even
just
though-
is, as you would say. It just is. There's
that-
no good or bad. It just is.
God, you just caught me. That's so true.
Yep.
I do always say that's just is.
I'm-
Whenever you want to start putting labels on it or start dissecting everything, I just say it is what it is. It just is.
It just is. Which is true. It is true that it just is. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all for the best. Good or bad, it's all for the best. It really is. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, that's really hot. I just made us tea. I'm freezing.
We were supposed to shoot this yesterday, but it was a long weekend. We've been really busy, and I did not feel like talking yesterday. I did not have it in
Which
me.
is shocking.
I know. Well, I mean, last episode, the 2 episodes ago,
Yeah.
the last time we were sitting here, I also didn't feel like talking. But we've just been so busy that it's hard at the end of a day to be able to perform for our lovely audience here. Like and subscribe, please. Like and subscribe and comment and follow.
And yesterday, I was all ready to go because it was Monday. I'm out of work early, got our walk and gym and all our things we like to do before doing the podcast. And then you're like, I don't feel like really talking tonight. I'm like, oh, okay. And then today,
Yesterday, you mean?
Yesterday. And then today, I get out of work and it's Skullfuck Tuesday at work, which is Tuesday is the worst day at my office because it's Dr. Gordon's clinic day. And you're like, how are you feeling?
Why is that the worst day at your office?
It's just a lot of talking with patients. And sometimes it's patients with unrealistic expectations. One of Dr. Gordon's joke is, Katelyn, charge my wand, because sometimes patients come in I don't care about this, but a patient came in today and she's on for a breast augmentation next week. She comes in for a consult today and she's like, well, I really like the size of my breast. I just want fullness up here but not be bigger. And I was like, how do you expect that to happen? And so she just did it. We basically had to tell her I
Is
don't.
that what a lift is?
Well, it's what an augmentation would do. It would give her that fullness. Whatever. It's just a day like Tuesdays is you're dealing with people with sometimes really unrealistic expectations, and they really want us to give them the moon, and it's not possible sometimes. So it's just tiring. And so I came home today, and you're like, you ready for this podcast? And I'm like, I feel like how you felt yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm done talking. I don't want to talk anymore.
Well, I mean, I've also been talking all day, but today I was
But you said that you need that to get going.
It helps
Yesterday was a work
charge
day.
me up. It helps give me momentum to come into the day and talk. Whereas yesterday was an admin, more of an admin day for me, and I was getting a lot of work done. And we again had a long weekend, and I was lacking on sleep. And it was hitting me yesterday. Normally I'm good about when we're out late on a Saturday or something, I'm good about catching up on it. And I did not get much sleep on Saturday night, and I had trouble falling asleep on Sunday. Very odd. So that's never happens to me. I'm great.
Do you think
with
it's
sleep.
an age thing? Since our last podcast, you did turn a year older.
No, it's definitely not. It's just a temporary 2-day thing. There's no way I'm gonna even go down.
We're not gonna put labels on it.
I'm
Just
not gonna
is.
put labels on it. Just is. It's definitely not an age thing. I sincerely doubt it. I don't know. It was just Saturday. We got very little sleep. That was some of the least amount of sleep that we've had in a long time, and we've been out a lot lately.
Yeah.
And that was definitely a very little amount. And then on Sunday night, I don't know, just didn't. And so yesterday, I had to do my leg day yesterday too. And by the time I was done with my leg day, I was like, I have no gas in the tank. I can't get this going. So
because no excuses. You had to get your leg workout done.
Yeah, exactly.
You have your workouts with some clients this week that they needed to do other workouts with you, and you fucking did it.
Yeah.
I was there with you watching, and you're like, are you going to do legs with me today? I'm like, I am not in the mindset to do legs. Best of luck.
I had to get it in, and it was the only day that I'd be able to do it. So I did it, and I felt it. It was a hard one. It was a hard day. You're enjoying your wink, your THC beverage.
Shh, don't tell the
THCA.
Don't tell the internet what I'm drinking.
We had Bruce rolling a joint on the podcast last week. So.
We had our second guest last week. Yeah.
Do they know that?
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. So they'll see that.
No, they have seen it.
We're future talking.
I know. So where were we? Oh yeah, and we have Tulum coming up next week, which I'm stoked about and is
I can't
awesome.
wait.
Is going to be sweet. So we have a lot
Turning
of
it into a birthday trip for myself.
yeah. We have a lot of we have to get all of our workouts in between now and then, 2 weeks worth.
Yep.
Which means there's no chance to skip a day or to push it a day. It means that I have, like to your point, like we have a lot going on in our life right now, and it's all really good stuff and actually great stuff. Not just good stuff; it's actually great stuff. Which is why when you said, "What's good, baby?" I should have said, "It's not all good; it's all great," because it really is. But that's like a lot to cram in. So we're even getting the podcast in, which also because next week we're not going to be able to do a podcast, so you're going to be without one for.
I mean, unless we get the itch to do it when we're on like the beach in Tulum.
Maybe
in our room.
We could bring the
room
mics
by the pool, our private pool.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that at all? There's nothing. I don't know if there's much to talk about.
I mean, yeah, we're going to Tulum. We were supposed to go last month, but then we changed things around and pushed it out a month, which was way better actually for me personally.
Because of all these other things that we have
because
going
all
on.
the other things, I had some stuff going on at work that like if I left in the beginning of March, I would not have been able to enjoy this trip. So things are settled at work, so I feel good to leave. And then
I guess a few reasons.
Yeah, and then again, it's turning like my birthday's on Monday. We're leaving for Tulum Thursday. It's turning into like a birthday celebration for me, I guess.
Yeah.
And with that, I called Julia, our friend, and I was like, we've talked about her before. She's been on the podcast before. She does numeric psychology, and she really helped me break down my numbers and my birth date and all of that. And a couple of weeks ago, she said to me, I can't wait for the day when we're just like, doing what we want to be doing, and you just call me and you say, hey, let's go like on this trip. Like, let's just get away and go do something. And so I was like, fuck it. Like, let me call her, and like, it's in 10 days. And I was like, let me call her and see if she wants to go. And I mean, she didn't even hesitate.
Yeah,
she was like, yes, go, I'm coming. Like, let's go. Like, let's do this. So she's coming. So it's going to be so much fun.
And I get to
We're going to have a
Julia's
great
been
time.
on the podcast, so people will see Julia. She was the former Arnold bikini champion from 2018.
Yeah.
You can go back to her episode earlier last year. And I get to be in Tulum with both of you. That's fucking cool.
I know,
I'm down. Two beautiful chicks in bikinis in our private pool in our villa. That sounds like a lot of fun to me. I'm interested. This is is it my birthday weekend too?
No, it's my birthday weekend.
Sweet. Well, it feels like my birthday weekend.
But yeah, it's going to be a blast. And we have so many great things planned. We've never been to Tulum. We've been wanting to check it out. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Actually, it turns out that we may have been.
Oh, that's right. You figured that out last night.
We were getting our final like excursion stuff done. And when we were, this is the first real like trip that we ever did together, like on vacation, was in law school. We went to Cancun, and we did an excursion at the time, and we climbed like the highest Mayan ruin pyramid on the Yucatan Peninsula, and like
I was so scared during that. Do you remember
it was
that?
intense. It was very steep. And
so scared.
So and we actually look back first off at that trip really fondly.
Yeah.
All this time later, like almost 2 decades later, like looking back at that was like a monumental trip for us for so many reasons. And that day in particular, I look back at as like that was like the first time I went like on a real adventure, I guess you could say.
You ate iguana.
I ate iguana, zip lined and swam in a cenote. And while we were looking at the excursions, we realized like that stuff that we saw, I guess, is like right in Tulum or very near Tulum. So we think that, I thought we had never been to Tulum before. And I remember that being a few hour drive from Cancun, but it turns out we actually have been to Tulum before. We just didn't know it. And it wasn't like the Tulum that it is now at the time. But we were staying in Cancun, but we didn't experience Tulum, but I guess we have been to Tulum.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to experience it.
Yeah, me too.
So
it's going to be sick.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of birthdays, we celebrated your 38th birthday a week and a half ago.
38th birthday.
That's what I said, 38th.
I thought you said 30th.
No, do you wish we were celebrating your 30th?
No, because I feel like I celebrated my 25th.
Oh, why is that?
Because I feel young as shit. I feel great.
Okay.
Even without the sleep. I feel like I did when we first went to Cancun and Tulum at 23 or whatever it was.
But smarter. We didn't like binge drink. I mean, was that the trip that I like drank all that Pepto-Bismol because I was
No,
like having
different trip.
Oh my God. But like, I mean, I think we celebrated your birthday in a much smarter way than you would have on your 25th.
Smarter. I
In
don't
the
know.
sense of like not heavy drinking and partying
I drank
all
a
weekend.
lot on my birthday.
I mean, probably more so than you have recently, not
Definitely
versus your
I have.
25th. And like, think of like
Nowhere near what I would have drank on my 25th
Exactly.
birthday.
And
But I
like-
mean, it was more than I've drank in the last
for sure.
for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we've been having more we've been drinking quite a bit lately on the weekends when we're going out. Like we've been doing a lot of fun stuff lately. So like there's been a little bit more drinking happening. But that was like that night was I was like actually drunk. Like I was drunk.
Yeah. At one point, I looked at you and I was like, I think we need to both stop drinking.
I said when we were at the Pershing a few weeks ago, I was like, it was the perfect mix, a little bit more than I normally do of all the stuff.
Yeah.
And that night in particular was like, I was way overdid it on the tequila for sure. But it was a beautiful night.
Did you enjoy your birthday celebration?
I loved it. I loved being surrounded by so many of my good friends, and a lot of people like came out to celebrate with me, and even like a few friends like helped put it together. Like we talked to Bruce last week, and like Bruce helped arrange a lot of it, which really meant a lot to me. And more importantly than anything, honestly, like as much as I appreciate everybody coming out to celebrate me, everybody at least seemingly had a really good time and enjoyed themselves. Dinner was really great at Guest House, which, you know, it's a fun spot to begin with. So I'm happy that people showed up and they, again, enjoyed the meal. And then the party afterwards, we went to Roma and got a table and did bottle service and all of that. Everybody seemed to have like an absolute blast. The vibes were through the roof. Again, Bruce was crushing it, DJing. And like, it was my first time at Roma, and it was a lot, like, I don't know, for some reason I thought it was going to be like seedy or like sketchy or like weird. But
Why do you feel that?
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Like I just, because it's
in a weird location.
Yeah, and because I'm gonna say this, because it started as an after hours spot, and it's in a weird location. But I feel bad saying that because like the Cut is also an after hours spot, and it's also in the same location. But I just like didn't think it was gonna be what it was, which was actually like a cool place with good service, and like good, like the decor and layout of the place was really nice.
The crowd was great.
And the crowd was cool too. The crowd was really like so much different than I guess what I was anticipating. And we had a great spot right in the corner. It was like so much fun. I really walked away from that evening with like feeling genuinely like super grateful and super blessed. So thanks to everybody who came out for that.
Yeah. I think everyone, like you said, everyone enjoyed it. People were there to like show you the love.
Yeah.
People came to the dinner. Some had to leave from the dinner, not come to Roma. More people showed up at Roma. Yeah. So it really was a great like way to celebrate you.
I kind of did like I guess like I was going to say like the 22-year-old girl thing of like celebrating over the course of the weekend. But usually those girls, they celebrate for like an entire month. But like we had Saturday night we went out to and had some dinner.
Yeah, but that was
with some
super
friends
low
and a
key.
cigar. Yeah, but it was still like.
I mean, we did have more, celebrate. We had like a birthday cake.
Yeah, you had
and candle.
birthday cake and cigars. I didn't drink that night. And then on Friday, we went to Kill Tony.
Monday.
What did I say?
Friday. Yeah.
And then on Monday, we went to Kill Tony at the mothership with AG and her husband and JC. And it was
a fucking great episode.
It was one of the best episodes ever.
So
I'm so happy that we had a chance to go and see that. So so that was like a couple weeks ago. And like that was a whole weekend in and of itself. And that was super fun.
Yeah. But you always said like you feel like you're always celebrating your birthday like for a long extent, like a long period of time. But your birthday always falls on like South by week or weekend. So we've always done that.
We kind of make a weekend of it. Yeah,
for sure. Like we've always done that.
Yeah, true.
So you can celebrate as much as you want. It's your birthday, honey.
I'm not complaining. I enjoy it.
I'm going on vacations for my birthday.
Yeah,
That's what I like to do. And I'm going to see Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah. So you get Eckhart Tolle instead of Kill Tony, and you get Tulum
I get a spiritual teacher.
instead of Roma.
And I get what?
Tulum instead of Roma.
I'll take that.
I'll
take
good,
that.
Good trade-off. Good trade-off. Roma was cool.
For sure.
I don't know if it's as cool as Tulum. We'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah. To be determined, I guess, right? I do have questions for you.
Okay.
For your birthday. So first question is, what would you tell your 36-year-old self going into your 37th year? So you're 36 going into 37. I know. So like from this year? So you're 36 going into your 37th year.
So what would I have told myself going into last year? Mm-hmm. Wait, so what would my 38-year-old self tell my 37-year-old self?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, what would your 38-year-old self tell, your
My
37? Yeah.
Going into my 37th
Yes.
year.
Sorry.
Just keep going. Keep going, keep going. I actually have been doing that more now, where this is another practice that I've picked up over the last the last month or two.
Yeah.
Is people always kind of say I've talked about synchronicities a lot in last episode or a couple episodes ago. We talked synchronicities a little bit and how they're signs from the universe, but we are the universe, so we're sending signals to ourselves at the same time. And a lot of times, even on some cliche Instagram posts, you'll see something where it's you're sending messages to your former self, or the you in the future is rooting for you right now or whatever. So what I've been doing is I have been sending signals back to my younger self to say, yo, keep going, keep pushing, you're crushing it. This is all for the best. So my old self, my current self, present self is sending a trail of breadcrumbs through space and time to the past me, telling me to keep going and keep pursuing and keep making it happen. So that is what I would tell myself going into my 37th year is all the things that you think are kind of kooky or crazy or seem maybe less the things that seem less safe or seem risky, but also feel right.
Yeah. Against the social norm.
Yeah. Those just keep doing that and care less. Just care less about the potential negative outcome or risk. That's what I would tell myself is just keep not caring as much as you can. Would my 37-year-old self listen? I don't know.
Why do you think you wouldn't listen?
Because I think you have to experience it to actually really understand it and know it. And my 37-year-old self knows it, but my 38-year-old self knows it even more deeply in my bones.
Yeah, through the experience.
Yeah. So it would basically be I know you're probably gonna freak out or not freak out, but I know you're probably gonna have some doubts and some worries. But literally do not, the less attention you pay to those, the better things are going to be. So just keep going with it. That's what I tell myself.
I like that.
Because around 37 is when I left I just before 37 is when I left my job. So my 37th year was the real big risky year for me.
Yeah.
So that's why that's relevant.
Yeah. And things are just coming together.
Beyond coming together.
So
in a way that is almost too bizarrely perfect.
Yeah, because you just stopped caring.
Yeah. Well, stop caring is probably not the right way to put it. I know that's what I said, but it's
probably just let it be. Just it is what it is.
Surrendering to some extent and understanding I've always controlled what I can control, but the more you just completely loosen your grip on what you can't control, even in terms of trying to predict or solve problems that you can't solve even if you knew the right answer to it, those are the things that I've really learned to more to loosen my grip on considerably more. So I think that is maybe the advice that I would give to that person.
Well, I like that advice, honey.
Cool.
What's one thing you learned about yourself in this last year?
I mean, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about myself in the last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the bottom line of it all, I think, would be like how powerful I am. Mm-hmm. How much, and I'm saying like
describe your power, like when you say something.
I'm
like
a
that.
magician. I'm a sorcerer.
So explain that. You can't just say what these are. Like
I have the capacity to manipulate reality.
Do you think everyone does?
Yes.
Why do you think everyone does?
Because we are all fractions of God. Mm-hmm. So we all are our own God, and we all have the ability to control reality and manipulate reality. And it goes far beyond how we like move things around in this 3D space through the fourth dimension of time. Mm-hmm. It goes all the way down to like our absolute, into our, like the way we control our thoughts. Our thoughts are things. Those things manifest into reality in ways that we can't even begin to comprehend. The vibes that we give off manifest reality and attract our reality to us. We are shifting timelines infinitely at every single moment based on our feelings, our thoughts, and our actions. Mm-hmm. In real time right now, as you're watching this, you are traveling through timelines, and you are able to jump to wherever you want to go based on how you are control. You are the physical manifestation, and your life is the physical manifestation of your mindset and your actions. And I mean that as seriously and as literally as I possibly can.
Okay, repeat that for me. Mm-hmm. You are the physical manifestation.
You are, and your life is the physical manifestation of your mindset and your actions.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But a lot of people would say like, oh, it's just about your actions. It doesn't matter if what you're thinking as long as you're acting on it. But no, your thoughts are as important as the physical actions that you're taking.
For sure.
Your one without the other does not result in the outcome that you're looking for. You need to have both. It needs to be both.
And your thoughts can really affect you on the actions that you're going to take. It can hold you back. It can give you fear. Like you just said, like the fact of you learning to let go and like let go of that control and that the thoughts that you had and just letting things happen.
And with that, it goes back to the idea of like the surrendering component. Mm-hmm. As Bashar would say,
y'all have to watch Bashar.
We've talked about Bashar.
I know, but for any new listeners, Bashar is amazing.
I'll start channeling like
yes.
Bashar. But Bashar says the goal is to, have your dreams and have your wishes, but not insist on them. Mm-hmm. Or I guess not dreams and wishes. Have your goals. Mm-hmm. Have your like vision for what you want for your life, but to not insist on it and not to insist on any particular path. So it's vital that you understand what you want and where you want to go. It's vital that you have the right mindset to get there and like a positive, love-based mindset, and you're taking all the necessary actions with the energy and the mass that you possess within this 3D, 4D space. You have to have all those things, but so much of that and so much of acting with love and so much of understanding that whether you want to say it's all good or it all is, maybe we should just focus on that. Like it is, it just is. Mm-hmm. Which means that...
I think we just found the episode title.
Yeah, probably. It is, meaning things are going to unfold in your favor so long as you're willing to allow them to. And the second that you start to resist or you start to insist on a particular path to the outcome, the more you're putting up blockers for the universe to present you with what you wanted, even though it just wasn't going to happen the way that you initially wanted it. And without saying too much, like there's something that's occurring right now in our life that is so bizarrely, like again, like perfect and so much exactly what we wanted, and so much not the way that we wanted it,
Yep.
but so much better than
For
the way
sure.
that we wanted it.
Better than we could have ever expected, thought of, planned for, everything.
And and I would very much expect, or again, I'm not going to insist on it, but I believe that at some point in the next several episodes, I should be able to actually make an announcement as to what that is.
I think you just used the perfect word there, saying believe.
Yeah.
Because in conversations with God, it's the same kind of thing of like needs, insisting. But the writer says like, why don't you answer my prayers? And like when you say something like that, it's like you're demanding that your prayers be answered.
And you're demanding that be answered the way that you want them to be answered.
And so like if you just believe that if you're going to live with your heart open and with the right intention and leading with love
and if you
doing the right thing,
if you trust in the universe and in God to give you what you want
and what you deserve
and what you've earned and what you've earned,
then like it will happen.
And you deserve those and earn those things based on your mindset and on your actions. Also based on your intention.
Yep, for sure.
If you even if you're doing something that's on its face, again, that's why your mindset and your actions are important. Is because you could do something with the wrong intention that seems good on the surface, but it could have a poor underhanded
like a different motive.
Same way, like we've talked in the past about like if you're looking at dieting as negative and as punishment to yourself for the way that you ate over the weekend or the way that you ate on vacation, and you're starving yourself, your body and your mind goes into scarcity mindset. You hold on to more cortisol, you hold on to more fat as a result, you hold on to more water, and then you get the exact opposite result of what you were expecting, and you're miserable in the meantime. If you're looking at dieting as eating healthy and loving your body and showing love to yourself, then you're not just taking the action, but you're taking it with the right intention, and then the universe rewards it effectively, and you aren't miserable, and you're happy, and you're seeing the results that you want. So like that's same action, different intention, or different mindset behind it. And again, like right now we're being presented with an absolutely incredible opportunity that's better than anything that I could have expected. And it's simply because like I didn't lose faith in myself. I didn't lose faith in the universe. I didn't lose faith in my goal. I was doing all the things that I really wanted to do, all the things that, as I said earlier, like maybe on its face would have seemed bold, or maybe like not just bold, but like what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, I guess like what are you like describing?
Again, I don't want to give too much away, but like doing things that like maybe seemed like not particularly bottom line focused. So I think looking back, especially at like my year 36 and 37, there was plenty of things that may have on the surface seemed potentially irresponsible, risky, unnecessary, maybe even like distractions, but I didn't see them as distractions. I was like, no, that's the person I want to be.
Yeah.
Why? Like, if this is the kind of thing that I want to do, or the kind of life that I want to have, and I have the opportunity to do it now, I'm going to do it now. I'm not going to put it off to the future. And by like doing those things, and I'll again like sorry, I can't give you more like concrete examples right now because I don't want to like say too much too soon. But by doing those things, it's put me in a position where now I have this opportunity, and it's going to be incredible. It's going to be too perfect to even imagine.
Yeah, and
we couldn't have imagined it. If we asked for it, it would have seemed like too much.
Yeah. And I think also going through the practice and trial of the space down the street and having like the lease down there, going through that really helped you understand the process of it. So now in this
we're kind of giving some stuff away, but
okay, but now like I mean it's kind of but like,
and let's also say It is not guaranteed yet.
No, it's
So
nothing.
we could be jinxing ourselves right now. I don't think that we are. I believe that we're not. But
Yeah.
either way, the fact that it's even like opened its hand to us
Yeah.
is it says something. It says that there's something to what we're doing.
And that was
we're
like a
on the right
practice
track.
run, and it's like now you have the knowledge, the skills, and here you go.
Yep.
It's really fucking cool.
Yeah. So that's another project that I've been working on.
Yeah.
What else? I have my Squatch community workout this Saturday.
I have one more question, but,
okay.
but we
Go
can
ahead,
keep.
go ahead.
No, but you can keep going about what your events, because I mean you are super fucking busy like
Yeah.
right now.
So-
like it was hard to figure out when to get this in like the next 10 days.
Yeah, we
It's
don't
like
have a
1
night-
hour
We
of
don't have a
sitting.
night available to sit here and do this.
Yeah.
I got so that project is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got some new clients, which is really cool, that are coming on board
Through the gym.
through the gym. Like people
From
are
your
like,
poster or
people
something.
are like referring me, which is cool. And obviously like all the other stuff that we have going on, but Squatch community workout is going to be this Saturday. It's my first time doing that. We've been to a few of them. They're always a lot of fun, and it's really my first time like doing this in any real official capacity for anybody or any
For
gym.
sure.
And not that it's like that like crazy or intense or different from what I'm used to, but like I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool. It's fun to
You're
like
gonna have a lot of eyeballs on you.
Yeah.
Like that's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what, like 30 to 50 people? How many
Oh, no,
people
it's
get there?
definitely more than that. It's
Yeah, I'm trying to
definitely
think.
like it seems like it's closer to like most of them are like definitely between 50 to 100. It seems
Yeah,
like.
and so like again, it's a lot of people going to be coming through like your section, your training, and it's a great way to highlight you,
Yep.
get to know you.
Yep.
I think a lot of people at the gym and at Squatch and at Coliseum are probably they see you. Obviously, they've seen your poster up, but like you say, you come off intimidating.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
I
But
think
a
when
lot
people
of
get to know you, when
Exactly.
people get to know me,
And-
I think that they.
And so
realize
that this
I'm
is a great opportunity for that
Cool. Yeah.
because
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, you're gonna do fucking awesome.
Thank
know
you,
that,
baby. Thank you, Bo. And then on Sunday, it's gonna be my first Stoic Sundays. I already have a decent RSVP list. I mean, like, I don't expect it to be that big of a group. If it's
But it's also random people
there's
have
some
signed
random
up.
people that signed up too, which is cool. So a handful
Yeah.
of people, of course, that are friends of mine, which is the reason why I started it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some people that are going to be out of town too that hopefully can catch the next one. But even some randos, I guess we could say,
Yeah.
that are signing up through the meetup group. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to kicking that off this weekend. We're working on it. We talked about our Power, Passion, Purpose workshop and our 60 Synergy stuff, which is going to be launched really soon. We're really finalizing a couple really cool things there. Dude, it's just like, it's crazy busy. I said coming into this year, maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was like, this is the year where we are going to be working our ass off. Like beyond, we always have worked our ass off. The last year was a lot of work. The year before that was a lot of work. This is different. This is we've hit a new level of being busy, but we're also, in my opinion, at least I can say definitively, I'm having a ton of fun at the same time. And like our last couple weeks really demonstrates that. And like we're going to Tulum. So it's hard for me to say. It's not like it's bad, but it is busy as hell. It's busy as hell to live the life that we want to live. And I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, we're doing the things we want to be doing. Still, like we still schedule that time to go and meet, hang out with friends, go do stuff. So that's obviously important. We're finding that balance, but we're also keeping busy, have networking events. We finally went to the Boardwalks event thanks to Erica.
Yep.
Thank you, Erica, for listening and saying, come with me.
Yeah.
So that was a great way to spend.
Thanks, E.
That was a great way to spend that Saturday morning and meeting people. And I love an event like that.
I know you do. You're great
I
at it.
thrive in a
You're
situation
super
like
good
that.
at those things. The boardwalks, we've talked about it in the last couple of episodes. That's one of the reasons why Erica reached out to us, was because we mentioned it. It's down every Saturday morning at like 8 a.m. Benu Coffee over
Riverside.
on Riverside. A big group of people meet up. You walk across the street and then you do
5 miles, I think.
about 5 miles,
Yeah.
like 2 hours, a 2 hour walk. And it's about like building community, networking. You kind of like at the beginning announce who you are and like what topic you want to talk about.
What was your topic?
The Anunnaki. Maybe there will be an Anunnaki episode soon on the podcast soon enough.
Maybe.
I've downloaded enough information from the Anunnaki themselves to be able to do an entire episode, I'm sure, and I would probably channel it like Bashar.
Oh my God.
But yeah, my topic was the Anunnaki, and I had a chance to chat about it with a few people. But I knew that was going to be a good one too. It's good. It's just Google Anunnaki.
Yeah. Did people have any idea what you were
Yeah, a
talking
few people did.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Gabriel did. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
of course. Like,
Yeah.
the guy knows the Anunnaki.
Of course. Duh.
So it's a walk where you're supposed to like have as many conversations throughout the course of the walk as possible and kind of like float between people and talk to people about the thing that they brought as their topic for the week. I just found myself, for the most part, explaining what the Anunnaki is, which I'm not the best person to explain, at least not at this point, what the Anunnaki is.
Why
It's
don't... Okay, go. Sorry. Go ahead, finish your thought.
But you're great at that stuff.
Yes.
You're great at networking events. I do not like networking events.
Why don't you think you like networking events, or do you think you're not good at networking events? I guess those are two different questions.
Because I don't I don't love the idea of just walking up to somebody and being like, hey, I'm Jared, like this is what I do, and like this is what I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
And which is kind of interesting because like I was great at cold calling, and that's like there's like nothing more like intense. Like I can walk up to somebody and I can start a conversation, but only if I like am genuinely drawn or like interested or have something if I have something to say to somebody, I will happily break into conversation and just go. But when you're at a networking event, you're surrounded by a bunch of people who are there to meet people. And it just feels inherently like forced and artificial by default. And it's like a small talk, like it's all about small talk, and I just don't like small talk. The idea of me walking up like to a random person and needing to like strike up a conversation
And like make it
out of
interesting.
nowhere does not appeal to me even a little bit. But the second that I have something of interest in that person, or I have like something that I want to say or a question that I want to ask, then totally fine.
Yeah.
So I find myself like kind of in a lot of networking events, and we're going to like the Riser event next week. And don't get me wrong, like I don't want to make it seem like I'm like socially awkward. I have like social anxiety, because like I definitely don't. Like I'm generally an extrovert, I think, by nature. But like if I don't sense that you're genuinely interested in me, like I have trouble being interested in you unless there's something like particularly that's standing out that I want to have a conversation about. So the idea of like having to break through that initial like few minutes of like what are we here to like discuss with somebody random is so painful to me, because to be completely honest, like the real reason is because I'm just not interested in most people. I find most people boring and cliche and rote and like uninteresting and bland and simple. That's the reality. I'm sorry if that comes, I know that's like arrogant and douchey, but like most people are just like, they're just Netflix watching, football watching, like
Don't know shit about the Anunnaki.
they don't know shit about the Anunnaki. They couldn't tell me a thing about the Anunnaki. Not a single thing. And in fact, if I brought up the Anunnaki to most people, they go, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
Right? Like
I didn't see that on Netflix.
yeah, they're like, no, that's not how this works. Like, that's what crazy people think. But yeah, like most people are just boring and uninteresting. And so when I'm at a networking event and I know that 90% of the people in the room I don't have anything in common with and don't really like have any interest in, and they're not necessarily like gravitating towards me either, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not interested. The second I find somebody who has something of interest, I'm in it. And if we can have a real conversation that's actually in depth and actually about something interesting, it doesn't have to be the Anunnaki. It could be about anything that like is worth talking about.
Yeah.
Then let's go. That's one of the reasons why like I've stopped watching football over the last several years is because I realized like it's just a thing for people to like latch onto and like have a conversation about so that they can kind of in like a common denominator so that you can like break the ice. And it's like if we need that to break the ice, then like the ice shouldn't be broken as far as I'm concerned. Like the ice should stay there. Like the ice will break when it's time to break, or the ice will melt when it's time to melt. I don't need to talk about like the Eagles game last night to like find a reason to have a conversation with you. If we're supposed to have a conversation, we'll have a conversation. Yeah. So I know that is douchey, and I know that is arrogant, but like that's just how I feel, and like that's my truth. That's my reality.
Yeah, but I think the event like the boardwalks or like our friend David's house party, like those are great networking events because it's like you're set there, or the setting is like you go up to people and talk about like the topic that you want to come in and talk about, and then that just unwraps more conversation.
And that's why it was interesting.
So that's why
I had a lot of like that one guy wanted to talk about like the real estate stuff. Yeah. So interestingly, out of all the people in that circle, the real estate guy, I was like, oh, I actually have plenty to say about that. Yeah. So I went right over to him, and we talked for quite a while and had a really good conversation, in my opinion. It was a lot of me talking, but again, to be expected. But like that was good because it was like I had something to say. Yeah. He had questions that he wanted answered, and I was like, I can answer those questions and give you my opinion on those. I have plenty of opinions on that shit. Yeah. So that was like awesome. And then that Gabriel guy, I had a lot to chat with him about. I liked him a lot.
I think that's what the cool thing is she makes you stand around in circles and everyone talks about their topic. And then from there, it's like, okay, I want to go talk to this person about this, or that seemed really interesting. I want to go like see what they have to say about that. Yeah. So it helps you open and like break that ice and not just be, what do you think of that football game last night? I
also like hate at conferences or whatever when there's like the little circles of conversation and you like walk in and like you feel obligated to go and like break into one of the circles. Like, it's just like, I don't like that shit. I don't like doing it because now it's like, now I have to catch up on where the conversation is. And I, again, like maybe that does make me socially awkward. Maybe that does, I'm just not interested in it. Yeah. Meanwhile, I can cold call like a motherfucker. I can knock doors like a motherfucker. I can.
And that's so funny because I'm so opposite.
I know. Like, so that's what I was going to say is you're great at those networking events. You do such a good job at those things. You're fantastic.
Because like back to the whole thing of like what cold calling, going on the door or like in front of the door or whatever, knocking on people's doors. Guys, is THC like already hitting me? Like knocking on people's doors. That is terrifying to me, and I think it's that feeling of like I might get rejected. Yeah. Where in like a social setting, like this networking events, especially if they're broken up into small groups, and like they say, okay, who wants to go first? Like I'm always like I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna get people talking, get the conversations going, push people to answer the questions. Yeah. So I'm completely different in like a setting like that versus cold calling or knocking on doors, and I don't know why that is. But like maybe it is again
you're really good at like bouncing around during, so even like I think about like our
the
breakfast party, like you're so good at like floating from thing to thing. Yeah. And like I'm just not. Like I'm waiting. I'm like, you come up and talk with me if you want to talk to me. Like that's the way I feel. Like genuinely. Even on and then like there's sometimes like at the Concourse Project on Saturday night, we went to go see Cascade. Another thing that we did that was fucking awesome. That was so much fun. That was great.
I mean, beyond great. It was sick. Insane.
It was great. It was so good.
The lights, the music, and the songs that were playing, it like brought back like flood of like memories and just being like, oh my god, this song, this song. It was so good.
But I had a couple people who did come up to me who I hadn't seen in a while and like say hi to me. Yeah. And like I was just kind of like, I'm just like, I have nothing to talk about, bro. I was also high. I was on mushrooms. I'm just like, I'm sorry. What do you want from me? Like, I have nothing to say. What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like, we're not buds. Like we could just say hi. We're not buds.
Yeah, but I think there's that feeling for others is that like social obligation, like, oh, I know him, so let me go go over there and do some small talk.
Yeah, I know.
To make sure we're good.
Yeah, I know. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
but that's I think it's just the social thing.
I get that. I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'm just really socially awkward. I don't know. Or maybe I just get too high. Or like maybe I'm just a douchebag. I don't know. It's one of those three things or a combination
That could
of
be
all
a combination.
three. Yeah, but it's like I'm just really I do not like small talk. It's like if we have something to talk about, we can get into it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to like even I'll say this like even when it comes to like work, like let's say even when I was in the corporate world, when somebody like in the office just wants to come over and all they want to talk about is like work stuff. It's like, okay, that's the only thing we have in common is the fact that we work here. I'm not that desperate for connection that like I need to have a conversation about this. Also, but I know a lot of other people are.
Yeah.
So like I get it, and
Yeah,
I'm
so
not,
do
and
you
I purposely like know that I can't make somebody feel bad for like wanting to have that,
I was
that
just gonna
conversation
say,
with
like,
me.
what would you do? You just
So
say,
like I just have to play along, but I know that I'm faking, and then I start to go, oh, this person knows I'm faking. So then I'm like, oh, I have to like
abort.
Yeah, that's kind of the way. And now it's like you said your fear was getting rejected.
Yeah.
My fear is like, oh, I have to like reject this person. And I don't want to like reject them. So I'd rather just like not have the conversation because I can only pretend for so long. And it becomes really apparent when I'm past the point of like I'm done pretending.
And it's so funny because like again,
Is that apparent? I think it is. I think it's immediately apparent. I think
no.
Jay has told me that. It's really apparent when I'm done pretending.
I guess I don't ever see you pretending.
Well, then maybe I'm better at it than I think I am. Because I
like,
just I
but at
hate it.
networking events, you and I like go separate.
Yeah.
And like we go and like separate to go mingle with people.
The idea of me going to like that boardwalk or a networking event like the Riser event next week without you is like I wouldn't say it's terrifying, but it's like I have to like go in supercharged.
Where I'm like, I can't wait for the next walk.
Yeah, I know,
I'm kind
I
of
know.
bummed the next couple of weekends I won't be able to do it.
And you could go and do it on your own and you would have a great time.
I'll go meet people, connect with people. To me, I don't know, I guess I love that connection of like making with people pretty easily. And I connect very easily with people. Hearing people's stories, getting to know like random people. And yeah, like I just love those like small little conversations. And like, I mean, I was walking with a couple of guys and like we were talking all sorts of things. And like we were talking about like sleep. We were talking about like me wanting to get like a Whoop. And so we went all into like people tracking all your metrics and like how that can get really dangerous because then you're just living by those numbers. Yep. We talked so many different things like beyond our topics. And I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I will say this. It's probably not all that helpful for me that I spend pretty much any of my free time just watching like spiritual documentaries and Anunnaki documentaries on YouTube. That's probably not
You're
ideal.
the alchemist or like this.
Because that's what I want to learn about. And there's
Yeah.
only so many people. Listen, if somebody wants to have those conversations with me, if somebody wants to talk,
I think I can introduce you to
about
someone like that.
meditation and Bashar and the Arcturian Council and the Anunnaki and oneness and the Lucifer experiment and souls and your Merkaba
Have we lost you yet?
and our toroidal fields that are coming out of our body and generating
And the
electromagnetic
copper
pulse.
things underneath the pyramids.
Or the copper
What
things
the
underneath
fuck?
the pyramids. If somebody wants to talk about that stuff, I am so down for it. Like, let's go. That I can talk about forever. We could do an entire weekend
But
retreat. But if you want to talk about, like, the Super Bowl halftime show, it's like you'll get 5 minutes out of me.
Okay, so what if someone was breaking the ice with you and they started talking about, say, the Super Bowl or something else, and then they said, well, the Super Bowl is just, what did the alchemist say? Or not the Super Bowl, the Olympics. She said that's like the devil's.
The Olympics is the highest satanic ritual.
So what if this person, you're talking about the Olympics and the person says that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, but what if you didn't do the break the ice conversation talk to somebody?
Here's the thing. Again, maybe douchey. I am generally pretty good at reading people, and I'm good at reading reactions on people based on things that I say.
Yeah.
There's a reason I look like this. There's a reason I like the blonde hair. There's a reason why I like the tattoos. I understand the reaction that I personally get from people, and I can tell a ton about somebody based on how they react to me when I walk into an interaction with them. Immediately, I can see if they're intimidated. I can see if they're dismissive. I can see if they're cool about it. I can see if they're pretty chill. Immediately, that tells me something about them. Then I end up speaking to them, and it turns out that I have a half a brain in my head, which most of the time they're not expecting. And then that tells me more about what their next reaction is. And then eventually, I'm a talker, so I'll talk a lot. And then I will try to take things down more unique paths, maybe not the Anunnaki right out of the gate, but maybe something that's not some surface level bullshit that most people want to talk about. And once I go down that path, I can sense their reaction. Are they pulling away? Are they interested? Are they curious? Do they laugh? That tells me something about them. So now I'm like, oh, this person's actually interesting. Or this is just a regular normie dipshit. And then that will tell me, oh, okay, let's get into it. Listen, if there's one thing I know how to do, it's get a reaction out of somebody. That's a fact. So that is what when I am small talking, that's what I'm going to try to do is test small little reactions, see what I get out of them. And if I can sense that they're not pulling in, they're not leaning in, they're leaning away, I'm like, all right, this is over then. So we could, if somebody brought up the Olympics, hey, did you watch the Olympics? I'd be like, yeah. I'd bring up I would bring up something that probably would allow me to test the waters in terms of how easy it is to make somebody uncomfortable or not.
Okay. Very valid. Okay. Good argument to that question.
But I guess your question is if they brought that up, it'd be if the topic was the Olympics, I would almost immediately say something to test if this person is just a total moron or not, or if there's something there, if there's something.
I think it's really harsh for you to call a person like that, to say a total moron.
Most people are average and pathetic. Okay. Most of society is average and pathetic. So I'm not expecting much from most people in those situations. I'm not. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing who here has some sense of reality. Or are they just another zombie wandering around with no actual thought of their own swirling through their head, and they're just doing everything that they're told?
Yeah. And that's why you don't do well in those
That's settings. Why I don't do well in networking settings. Can you sense that I'm not great in networking settings? That's me being genuinely authentic, and I have no problem putting this out there. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I have nothing else to say to that. I mean, that's your truth. So.
And it's not to say that I don't like people. I want to be very clear about that. I love all people. I do. I love everybody. We're all one. But I have, as we mentioned, limited time, limited energy, limited, like emotion to bring
Like
to it.
yeah, and like
That's
a
another
limited
thing.
bandwidth.
Limited bandwidth. I have a lot of other things that I'm focusing on, and if like you don't give me a reason to make you a priority for my time, then like I don't care enough to meet you or connect with you or know about you. Like I said, I'm not desperate enough for connection.
Yeah.
I have plenty of connection from people that matter to me. I'd rather have deep, meaningful, quality connections with a few people than disperse my love and affection across a ton of people that like I don't really like. That it's not that I don't care about, but like I know my love will not get the kind of love that I give will not
Like resonate
take, I guess,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term. The people who do accept my love seem to really like it. And there's one more thing I was going to say. I'm really going off right now, huh? What, do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, I see your like your point there. Of course you want, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
Yeah.
And like you go to these events or even just like going out, like we've been amongst groups of people and you can see that like they're always all together, but once you start talking, you realize that like they don't really know much about each other at all, but they're together all the time.
Yeah, they know nothing about each other.
And they know nothing about each other.
Yeah.
And it's because people want connection and want the numbers and want the amount of people around them, but again, do not have that true, deep, meaningful connection.
Yeah.
Which, like, how could you possibly do that and live your life and do all the things to have quality connections with all of the people that you meet?
But also, like, keep in mind, you are the people that you surround yourself with. Our consciousness is all connected, and you literally start to, like, by osmosis, develop the attributes and the characteristics, the strengths and the weaknesses of other people, their thought patterns, their mannerisms, etc. So if you're just wanting to be around as many people as possible, and the majority of people, as we know, are average and pathetic, well, then, like, what is that going to do to your level of consciousness? It's going to pull you down toward average and pathetic if you're above average.
Yeah.
So I want to be surrounded by people who are well above average and exceptional, and that I can truly connect with, that I can give love to, and that they can give love back to me too. And that is how, like, we continue to evolve and progress and get better. I'm not trying to just surround myself with whoever wants to hang out. I just don't.
Yeah. Don't got time for that right now.
Don't have time for it. I think that was good. Do we have anything else to go over? I know there's a few other things I think you wanted to talk about, but I don't know if they're relevant right now.
No, it's not really relevant. It would be like forced to bring
that was good.
Stuff up.
I kind of feel like that actually went in a totally different direction than I was
for
anticipating.
sure.
Was that too much?
I mean, it's just like, again, it's your truth.
It's the truth, yes.
Like,
it is the truth.
I mean, there's nothing like you're not going to say other than that. Like, you're not going to be like, no, I'm great at networking events and I love them. Like, you don't.
No, I don't.
And
these
are the reasons why.
I don't hate them.
Well,
I do enjoy them because again, there are people that the reason why I go is, of course, because I meet people who I do like, but like I have to wade through a ton of bullshit. You have to wade through so much bullshit.
I mean,
and
but that's like everything.
Meanwhile, again, because like with the cold calling, I'd make 150 cold calls a day when I first started in my cold calling job. And then you would
prove me right.
Yeah, that guy. And 150 cold calls, you would get maybe in a day like 2 or 3 like what we would call demos, and if you had one sale a day, that's like a lot. One sale every single day is like a ton. So I'm fine with it as long as like I have something to talk about.
Yeah.
But the second that you put me in a room, and I'm just like, not only do I have to like break the ice with all of these people, but then I have to figure out what's interesting about them. I would rather just be interesting and have people attract to me. So that's sort of been the strategy that I've used, and it's worked. It's worked for me.
It has worked.
Has it not?
No, I'm saying it has worked.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely.
So, okay. I'm done. I feel like I said everything that I need to say, and I'm a little questioning whether or not I should release it, but of course we are.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
Cool. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe. We're done. Are we done?
I think we're done.
You have any final thoughts?
See you after Tulum.
Yeah, we'll see you after Tulum. I'll come back. I'll be even more tan.
Yeah.
I got a pretty good tan.
Ooh, I
All
can't wait.
See y'all. Give me a kiss.
And I'll be 37.
Oh boy.
Hot 37.
We'll ask you, what would you tell your 36, 7
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
Peace.